阿乐，你要报告。
每张桌子都被占用中。
就大家保面试嘛，就这样。
对啊。
我先做那个。
你们视讯到几点啊
10点出头。
靠腰怎么样？
我总不能忘记把你这
网友更糟糕。
对啊，每一件那么多人，我准备屁了。我还记得谁？
对啊。
我们先进去了。
没有。现在也。
Now, where are you guys?
High school.
High
I'm a
school?
high school librarian.
High school, okay, all right. And I'm
Mike, can you guys hear us?
Eagle reading person, so.
It is.
Oh,
Can you hear us, Mike?
Pros and cons.
yes.
Shake your head up and down if you can hear us.
There's still some.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, because I can't hear you. Oh, there you are.
I was on mute.
Oh, all right.
All right, so you're all set then.
Yep. Well,
Yeah,
not
we saw
really. How do I bring
you
it
here.
to full screen? Wait a second. Oh, no, wait.
How do you get to first screen?
Full screen.
Full screen.
That is probably just the setting, that's actually probably just the setting on the projector. I really don't think it's going to.
It was just bigger.
Oh, you mean on this?
Well, I mean, on the screen, it was full screen just a minute ago.
Which one do you want full screen though?
The one behind the video conferencing one.
When should we have to be?
Okay, well, then you probably have to adjust that.
Oh, that's what I wanted to do.
Well, that's not connected. That's what I was wondering.
Oh, this is
Yeah,
not
it's
connected?
connected.
No, it's the, we're using the
Where's the PowerPoint coming from?
Taiwan.
Oh, so this is his PowerPoint.
That's, yeah, that's all overseas.
Okay, so you're seeing your full screen, he just said it like that.
Oh, okay. I
Okay,
gotta
so
get them
you're
to take
seeing
down
what
this-
he's projecting to you?
And then we're seeing our little square up there.
Right,
The
you
shared
guys are,
screen.
yeah, it looks like there's 4 people in this conference perhaps. That's what. the
Mimi, are you there?
Yeah, you're seeing Mary's share screen from Taiwan.
I'm trying to get them to connect with us so they can take that down so we can go full screen with you guys.
Okay, so
12 hours ahead.
so they're going to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
We're keeping them up.
Tired and cranky.
Oh, something just. Somebody close it.
Oh, there we go. Is that you guys, Taiwan? Is that you?
Little Nancy
Can you hear us?
games. I'm like, oh,
Okay, the Purdue one yesterday, I didn't want to.
Sounds good. What I'm going to do here is get started with the presentation, and what we'll do is we'll have Taiwan go first since you have your PowerPoint up on the screen. The only thing we ask is that when you're done with your presentation, if you could take your PowerPoint off so that we can return to full screen, and then we'll bring up Mike, and Mike, you can take over from there, okay? Okay. Well, thank you for joining us this morning here in the United States. My name is Larry Gallery. I'm with the New York State Education and Research Network, and we're broadcasting from Fayetteville Manlius High School in Manlius, New York, which is located just outside Syracuse, New York. So what I'll do is I'm going to hand it off to you, Mimi, and you can go ahead and start your presentation. For those of you, Mimi is from Taiwan, from Taipei, Taiwan. And as you'll see from their sign, they're part of the university school. I don't know the actual name of the school because I can't read it on their banner, but we'll be able to talk with you about that. So take it away, Taiwan.
Hello, Larry, and everyone in the USA. This is Mei Mei from Taiwan. Actually, we're in the central part of Taiwan, not Taipei. We're in Taichung, the city of Taichung. And I would like to talk a little bit about the global collaborations that we have had with schools around the world. And we would like to start with the students, the introductions of the things that they have worked on, as well as their thoughts. So, Tony?
Well, I'm not sure if you could see our presentation slides.
We were seeing them, but I think you just kind of moved them so we can get a better look at you, and we'll bring them back up when you start the slides.
Okay, so we're pushing the slides as we speak.
Yep, we got them now.
Okay.
We have video conference which are about cultural exchange. For example, the project Foreign Nations Classroom consists of foreign nations, enabling students to learn about cultural diversity and pressing issues of other countries. Last year, as you can see on the PowerPoint slide, we connect to Ghana, the US, Canada, and Iran. We talk about food, festival, educational systems, and the prospect of our one's own country. Through this international exchange project, we not only become more open-minded toward different cultures, but also acquire more detailed international information that we cannot get access to through internet. Thank you.
Well, apart from cultural exchanges, we also have university courses.
In a video conference with Boston Lake University, we discussed taboos when having a business meeting in different countries. Besides, we talked about the most efficient way of promotion in our one's own country. Comparing the different forms of advertisement let me know people from various countries will stress on different functions, even on the same product.
And we also had the discussions on global issues that affect the global economy. For example, last year we've been talking about how the Ebola crisis has influenced the global economy. And then apart from these, we also got youth summits or other forum courses or even seminars. And as you can see on the presentation slides, these are all the discussion topics that we've done before. And we have the collaborations with World Affairs Council of Pittsburgh constantly, about 3 to 4 times in one semester. And then we also discuss global issues. And through the Youth Summit Forum, we have the opportunity to engage in international projects to do with the research on global issues and also integrate all the information promoted by international students from different cultural backgrounds. Also, we have the economic seminar held by the World Affairs Council of Philadelphia. And besides this economic seminar, we also have another one on nuclear non-proliferation, which was also another global issue. And I would say, as a student coordinator, what I saw was that, especially when multiple sites are connected, students from different countries will speak in different accents, so it usually comes as pretty critical sometimes. And I would say, beside this, I also found that quite interesting that students from different cultural backgrounds react quite differently to a controversial issue. In one conflict forum, a Pakistani student directly challenged U.S. on its military droning in their countries, murdering a lot of people, directly challenged the United States on its foreign policy. And as one of the parts in the summit forum, we have Model United Nations, as well as United Nations Fragment Convention of Climate Change. And for the Model United Nations, similarly, we also discussed about global issues, but rather differently was that we try to stand in the shoes of different countries, thinking about the global issues from the country's aspect. And as for the climate change conference, we express students' opinion, especially from the Taiwanese or Asian students' angle on solving the problems of climate change to the student reporters at Warsaw, Poland.
Besides, we participated in debate and mock court competitions. We debated over U.S. tax policies and the abolition of death penalty. In the mock court competition, students act as prosecutions, defendants, or witnesses to debate cases such as whether terrorist violates crime against humanity in a form of international criminal courts, or cases such as drug smuggling. Although we're not that familiar to U.S. policy or the court form, we learn a lot in these competitions, such as logic thinking and the skills of finding, organizing those information. That's what we learn in these competitions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do you have any questions regarding the topics that we've just mentioned?
So this is the first part that we have covered regarding our collaborations with the countries around the world. And in short, our collaborations mostly go through video conferencing. So either you can have a point-to-point connection, just connect to your partner school, your sister school from another country, and have a more in-depth learning of one's culture, or you can extend to multiple site connections, and then we can learn from different school and opinions of students from different schools and their opinions on a certain global issue. And so we have a video here, actually an actual video clip that we have edited of the culture exchange with a lot of countries around the world. We'd like to show that right now. Hopefully you'll be able to see the video.
Yes, it's going across fine.
Thank you.
Could you raise the volume on it?
Sure.
Are you able to hear the?
Couldn't hear it too well, Mimi.
Okay, we'll start again.
Stereotypes, images, and symbols of Russia. Also, in the recent years, Russia has become a more open, socially valued to be in the Soviet time. Not many people.
Taiwan is located in East Asia, in the South China Sea, and is 180 kilometers away from east-south coast China.
There are 7 national parks in Taiwan. The most popular one is Kending National Park. It is in the southern parts of Taiwan.
Y'all know today is about, desserts, sweeties. So we want to get started.
These are the individual pies with all the pressure that and as you can see.
Doctor says that this is not.
Hi, today we're going to tell you how to count from 6 to 10. And now let's start. First, 6 is pronounced Liao. Repeat after me. Liao.
Liao.
Queen Elizabeth High School. Our school was founded in 1960. Our school offers many different academic classes that build knowledge while creating better social and leadership skills that are needed to ensure we are well equipped with everything we need to succeed in life, as well as after school. It offers a number of classes that students can choose from.
We wanted to ask you whether there is any environmental issues in your school.
Sometimes we have some problems to recycle our garbage in most of the class.
Okay, so that's our video for the part that we have just presented. Do you have any questions for us?
I had a question about the topics, how they choose their topics.
Did you hear that, Mimi?
Yes, regarding the topics, usually, Michael, would you like to answer that as well? Because Michael also helps organize a lot of the programs that we have with other countries.
Mimi, could I ask you to close your PowerPoint presentation so we can bring you up on screen here?
Okay, so did you want us to stop pushing the content?
Yes, this way we can be able to see the students. Perfect, thank you. Okay, so we're just wondering then how you select your topics. How do you decide what topics your students are going to be involved in?
Okay, so I'm not sure if Michael is going to share your Food for Thought program with everyone.
Yeah, go ahead. You can tell them all about it. You showed some good videos on it.
Okay, so Michael in Texas, USA, has been organizing a lot of video conferences, and one of the most one of the most popular one is the Food for Thought, where countries around the world get together and present on a particular food each month. So we come together once a month, and the food, there are various aspects of food that we present. For example, for 1 month we did health foods around the world, and for another we had like quick to make foods, and so we also and in another month, we did festive foods. So food is also one of the main things that students feel very comfortable talking about. And then there are other, if we talk about cultural issues, for example, stereotyping other countries or what we think that other countries will stereotype about our own culture, we can try to explode the myths. So that's also one of the video conferences that one of the popular topics that we've worked on. And then there are also the more global ones where you see multiple sites connected and the students talk about a global issue such as water crisis or Islamic awakening.
Resource management, human trafficking, Syrian refugees, and so on.
Right, and those are topics that are either organized by the World Affairs Councils in a certain city, or we can suggest topics for them to, put out the content for everyone to do research before we all come together and connect. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Mimi, I have a question for the students, and that's primarily when you're dealing with other students worldwide, what is the experience like? I noticed you mentioned earlier about sometimes accents get in the way of talking to students. But what's your feeling about interacting with these students on a global basis?
So the question is directed at my students?
Yeah, they're just their feelings about being involved in video conferencing, working with students around the globe. How does that help them with their learning, and they forge any international friendships, things along that kind of line?
Well, I would say the integration of information did play a really central or the core part when I was having the extensive research on whether it was like global economy or so on, because by understanding their cultural backgrounds, we could get better overviews on how people behave with each other, because that is directly driven by how they think. And of course, knowing how they express themselves or how they respond to controversial issues clearly guides me to know how they think. So that's probably one of the parts that I get most from.
And also in Youth Forum, we have a chance to meet lots of experts from different areas, and that's it. What they have told us is the first-hand information. We, for example, the expert in terrorism, we never think about how, since we got information usually from media, newspapers, television, and news, we can't actually know what it is like when negotiating with a terrorist. So these resources really provide we students a very good opportunity to look into the world.
Also, I get a lot of extra knowledge from the summit, because all the issues we discuss in summit is the issue that we hardly get access to in our everyday life. Teacher will not teach them in the classroom, and we hardly have means to get access to it. So I think it's a really precious experience to have the video conference.
Yeah, what Jason has been mentioning was that since the educational system in Taiwan focused much on a lecture-oriented one instead of a research or discussion-oriented, the students seldom got a chance to engage in interactions with other students or engage in discussions or even debate on certain topics, and this certainly provides us with those kind of opportunities. And we are also try to focus much on these kind of experiences.
Is your work for a club or is your work for a class?
Okay, so actually I have the students meet regularly, so we function like a class, but it's just that first of all they are not accredited for this, nor are they paying for it, but we meet on a regular basis. So it would be more like a class to me because we have the students working on different subjects. They meet together, they work together, they research things, and then they do more research outside, when after they go home. And then also they meet again, and then we hook up with schools around the world to debate or talk about the topic. So I would say, although it's not a formally integrated into the course curriculum, we are functioning as a class, except we work during after school hours.
And I can see how I could meet with you in one of my classes, but I don't have anything right now in plan. But if I wanted to contact you, how do I go about that?
Yes, you can email me. Larry has my email.
Great, thank you.
Right, and can you give us a brief description of your class and the age level?
Sure, I teach at the middle school level. I'm a reading teacher, and I work with 5th, 6th, and 8th grade.
What ages would they be?
The ages would be from 10 to 14.
Thank you.
I thought about going international with that. 6th, 7th, 8th graders here. 6th, 7th, and 8th grader over there could be like equivalent to 3rd grade.
Well, and I was wondering, what are their ages for a senior high school there?
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so the in Taiwan, the elementary school level consists of grades 1 through 6, and then there's the junior high, which is 7, 8, 9, and then the high school, the senior high school level, which is where we are at right now. It's the 10th, 11th, and 12th. So the ages would be 15 to 18, but we're open to connecting to different age levels. So as you have probably seen earlier, we connected to little kids, so we act as big brothers and sisters, teaching them Chinese and even teaching them math. And also we connect to university level, so we also connected with a college in California, and we did business classes, courses on business classes. So we're almost open to anything.
Hey, Larry, I don't mean to jump in, but we have several, probably at least a half a dozen to a dozen middle schools, especially in the Ukraine and Russia and Kazakhstan, that would love to work with anybody in the middle school level.
Great, thank you.
You'd be surprised how many people out there looking to hook up schools. Okay, doing it. Mimi, thank you so much. I want to congratulate you and your class. Boy, you guys have a great command of English too, which, as you know, when you do these global collaborations, that seems to be the main language. What I'd like to do now is turn things over to Mike. And Mike, the floor is yours.
Yeah, oh, thanks. I'm not near as fancy as Mary, and I'm coming from my home because we're in the middle of spring break, but I really appreciate this opportunity, Larry, and to talk to some of the people there. I'm trying to get my friend Enrique from Lima, Peru. He's on Skype right now. They're Skyping some people, and he's supposed to be joining us, and he would like to mention a few things. But suffice it to say, I've been involved for around, I think since 2000 or 2001 school year. I've been working with Mary for probably the last 6 years. Last night we did a global alternative energy moot court with Hong Kong. So our kids we're doing that, and we're starting a program right now. I'm joining you from my computer, and we're using H323 lines to our setup there. So you're seeing me just like you're seeing yourselves. What has happened in the last 15 years now is that originally, many years ago, we'd have to use Tandberg or Polycom units and could just talk to each other, and there was very limited amount. Now today, if you remember back in Mary's nice video, the people in Ghana were blessed with about $500,000 worth of Polycom equipment. But we're talking to people in Kazakhstan, we're talking to people in India, we're talking to people in Africa, we're talking to people in the Ukraine, in the eastern part of Ukraine, where they're about 20 miles from the war. We're using web conferencing, and we're combining all different technologies. I think that's about the biggest thing you can see today, is that you could literally open the world up to you. Times can be anywhere. I'd like to add a little bit about go along with what Mary was saying. It works out a lot better if you work with a class or some sort of structured, and we work with classes all over the place. Many of my students are not English native speakers. Probably 75% of my students are ESL students. And one thing we've noticed is that students from other countries will speak much better than English than many of my students do. So it's a very good learning experience. We got interested into debates. I am a debate teacher, but we got interested in debates maybe, I guess, 12, 15 years ago, and started doing international debates. But I firmly believe the best way to learn a language is to be able to think in that language. And the best way to think in that language is to be able to argue. So debates are a natural offshoot of that. And give you a good example of debate topics. We worked with the people from Pittsburgh and the other ones too, but we've kind of pulled off and started doing many of our own things. And we're working with the YMCA, and we're doing a lot of moot courts and mock trials. Many of our, the idea is we'd love to get people to actually reach future leaders before they become leaders. And to that event, we've had some really startling and amazing things happen this year. When Benjamin Netanyahu came and spoke to the Congress, next day we were speaking to students in Iran, and we were asking them about what they thought about the United States since after the speech. And I had about a 6-minute, really, really nice conversation with several of the people from Iran. But we've talked to people, we've argued about atomic weapons with students from Iran, even before the governments were even talking to each other. So, you know, this idea that in many times breaking stereotypes, you know, we're still debating whether, you know, Iran's you know, what type of nation it is, but all my children for the last 6 years have actually met Iranians and found them to be just very much the same as us, with a great command of the English language. So it is a very interesting and important time. I'm thinking right now I'm supposed to be joined, we're going to be joined by a gentleman from Lima, Peru, and he would probably like to say something as soon as he comes on. But you're going to see that the way this is right now, it's real easy to use. All you have to do is get hooked up with some people, and if you could give me your email, you're interested, I can get you or Larry can tell you, we can merge so many different technologies together now. It's probably the best learning tool that you can actually put into your classroom. And just one thing I'd like to end my comments with. Our geography class in our high school has been teaching to learn about cultures, and they're teaching something to read a novel. And I think it's a lot more of a novel idea to actually talk to people from those cultures to find out about the culture than reading a book about written by somebody else. So this is first person learning that you can do on almost a daily basis. I think we're going to probably do 200 and something this year, almost one a day. And this next week, we have a mock trial with South Australia. We have a moot court on alternative energy with Canada. We have a cultural exchange with Korea, with two different schools in Korea. And then we have a initial meeting with Kakistan. And then we have some competitions on Saturday, which are a little bit different. Then we have something every day for the rest of the semester. So we're very busy in this part of the year. Any questions? Enrique, can you hear me?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and say something and you can address this crowd. Larry, this is Enrique. Enrique, can you put your video on so you can talk to them too? Introduce yourself.
First of all, I want to say thank you for this great opportunity to connect students and teachers from all over the world. We are happy out for your commitment and eagerness in order to provide the best.
And Enrique, could you speak a little louder and turn on your camera too, please?
Excuse me.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, it's
Yeah.
clear?
Yeah, I can hear you better, but could you turn your camera on? You have to get out of Skype and turn on your
I
camera.
want
Go ahead.
to send a greeting from the oldest new world, Peru, to all the students who are connect Zoom platform. And I want to tell that we are very proud and happy for Mr. Cunningham assistance in order to contact all the people who tries to make the best benefit of their students, community, and all that is related to world-class schools, which provide the best platform for each one of us who are trying to improve our learning process and at the same time to become a good or a better human being. I want to be part of this amazing network that Mrs. Cunningham is providing us, because the step that we are going to take, it's going to be replicated for people who are eager to start this digital revolution, to become people engaged in the learning process. And more than that, I have shared here in Peru wonderful moments with Mr. Cunningham students. They are the real reflex of Mr. Cunningham's efforts. It is been wonderful to share his friendship, and I feel blessed for having find for having found such a wonderful human being and a great professional. I want to listen or want to hear something from my friends in Asia.
Okay. Thank you, Enrique. And Enrique, if you could turn on your camera, that would be helpful too. I muted him a second. And we sure do appreciate, Larry, the opportunity here. I think you can, there's Enrique. Enrique, tell us a little bit about your school and what you're doing there.
What?
Tell us a little bit about your school.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, tell us about your school.
We are located in Lima, Peru, the capital of the Peru country. It's located on the Ocean Pacific. We have 3 different geographical regions. We are a private school which is using Skype and Zoom as a digital platform to connect students all over the world. We have a special interest in following Mr. Cunningham's efforts. Here in Peru, we know that the evolution has started, and our principal has decided to make use of all these amazing tools that we have at our disposal to connect with people and learn the best that you can provide and we can reply.
Okay.
That's why we are very happy every time that we connect with Mr. Canning, Texas. We have met a wonderful bunch of students, and we are learning from their commitment. We need to imitate and encourage our students how to change our attitude in front of this revolution that is happening, and it is a wonderful experience to be part of it, my dear Michael.
Okay, thank you so much. Larry, why don't we go ahead and give it back to you? There may be some questions or that, and then I want to introduce Mary to Enrique too.
Sounds good. Does anybody have any questions here about this? We only have about a minute left here, Michael. Our session ends at 9:10, and so it's about a minute away.
Okay.
One of the people here that are in the class in the auditorium are English teachers, language arts teachers, cultural teachers, and one of the areas that they're looking to try to investigate is something that what goes on a lot between New York schools and English the schools of London are like setting up international book clubs where they can talk about, share if they're going to be reading the same novels, getting together and talking about those kind of books. So, if you know of programs that are already existing along this kind of a line, that may be of interest to this group.
Yeah, we would really like to do something in that area as well. If you could get us a list of the books that you would have, and we could get the books to the different other schools, we would love to. It's really important, I think, for people to get a real international look at things and how people look at the same book differently. I think that would be a really nice discussion.
Agreed.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Would we be able to get books translated? So if we got a book from another country, would we be able to get it translated because?
Well, Google will translate anything for you. Seriously. So, if the book is available online or digitally, Google will do all those translations for you.
Yeah, and
That
if
would
you,
be fascinating for.
yeah, and also some we have a couple sources where we could get books for classrooms and could get them for international too. But I really need to know what you're trying to read, and then we could get you in contact with the right people.
Okay.
That's great.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right now, my 8th graders are reading A Long Walk to Water, which is dealing with the Lost Boys and Southern Sudan. So I'd love to meet with anyone who wants to do that.
Okay. If you could give that information to Larry, if Larry could email that to me, I can get the ball going on those. All right, and also tell me more books ahead of time so we could have it for next year for sure.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you to the
Mary.
students for showing up.
Yes.
You
I'm
guys
going to
are
mute the
awesome.
microphone here because the next group is going to be coming in and out, so it's going to get a little noisy here. But we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, anyway, I'm gonna chime in a bit here. I hate to damp the interest of, the enthusiasm of the Google translation, but it really doesn't work. If you want to. It doesn't really help with the understanding of books. So I guess either we want to do a book club, either the students will have to read the original, the authentic English version, or else get the Chinese translation version. Otherwise, the translation does not work. And also thank you. And another alternative would be a movie club, which we had set up with a school in Michigan. Because that is so much easier, because for the students to finish, watching a movie and then talk about it afterwards, it's so much faster than a book. Or sometimes they can go with a book.
We're doing movies right now.
So we have all these great ideas. So we will grab the email from Yeah, Larry, and then hook up that way.
What I'll
Thank
do
you
is
so
I'll set up a
much.
virtual introduction and
Great.
get everything going, so you can talk directly with Michael and Mary and
The
get
giver is
some of
like
these
a
things set up.
Okay.
Okay, Michael, we'll be back in a few minutes.
Thank you to the students for
Thank
being
you.
up so
Thank you,
late.
Mary.
so much.
Talk to you in a few minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, if
back
Enrique,
in time.
you could talk to Mary a second. I'm going to have to take my dogs to the vet, and I'll be right back.
Sounds good, Michael.
That's the beauty of
Okay.
this. So can we have, do you have a card with your, okay, great. Thank you so much. That was wonderful.
Yeah, sure.
Enrique,
Is it
this is Mary from Taiwan. Mary, this is Enrique from Lima, Peru. I've been trying to get you two guys together to talk to you for a second.
My students are going to arrive.
Different.
I'll show you what it looks like.
I'm in the library.
Okay, so,
Yeah, I'll email it to you.
Great, thank you.
So the next session is pretty much the same.
Mike,
Larry,
Yes.
could you unmute your side for a second? Thank you.
Mike, can you hear me?
Okay, it's that.
Mike, can you
Okay,
hear
here
me?
we go.
Yeah, I can
So,
hear you fine,
is it
Nick.
Rika?
Go ahead.
Where is located?
Is it Rika?
Enrique.
Where is located Eagle Hill?
Oh, Eagle Hill is in New York. Larry Gallery is a gentleman that's in charge of different, I guess, he works in education, but works at like a large service center in New York where he connect different schools together. And he's giving a conference in New York. So what you're talking to is some of his sessions. And this is Mary from Taiwan. And Mary, this is some students from Lima, Peru. They want to talk to your students.
They are going to send a greeting to the students. The university is from Taiwan.
It's the high school associated with the university.
Wow. Our students are arriving, and I hope that they, even though, send their best wishes, even in Spanish. They are in a learning process of English, but at the same time, we want them to enjoy and have an Zoom platform because they consider only Skype as the only via to make a video conference. And thanks to you, we have the chance connecting with a lot of students all over the world. First of all, a ver, chicos, saluden. Estamos con una universidad en Taiwán y otra en California, en New York. Por favor, de ahí nomás saluden a la cámara.
Hola.
Buenos días. Hola, ¿qué tal?
Miss Angulo, por favor, un segundo. Un segundo.
Hey, Mary, maybe you could teach them some Chinese real quick.
Oh, could they briefly introduce themselves? I mean, the class, for example, the grade level and the age.
Yeah, go ahead. Enrique, could you tell them the age and grade level? And I'll be back in about 20 minutes.
You are going to be back. There's no problem. Yeah. Antes de todo, a ver, chicos, tomen asiento. Mira para acá, Reina. Para acá. How are you doing in Taiwan?
We're doing good.
Well, this is a Peruvian group of students. We are located in South America. This is a school, a private school. We are trying to teach our students to speak the basic English. And we have gathered a lot of information. Yeah.
are they in? Your students.
¿Qué grado son? A ver, Miss. A ver, Miss.
Hi.
Hi.
So can you tell us a little bit about your class?
Okay. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Mrs.
Good morning.
Angulo. I am the English teacher here at Vicente High School. Today we are with my students in second grade in level the secondary, and they are going to practice about some and any.
So are they elementary school students?
High school.
High school?
Yes.
What is their age? What is their age? How old are they?
About 13. About 13 years old.
17. It's very nice to be connecting to you.
Any volunteer?
So here I have my students, and they are in 12th grade, because Taiwan, the high school consists of grades 10th, 11th, and 12th. And today we have 12th grade students with us at my site, and they are 17, 18 years old. Yes.
We want to have a practice with you. Perhaps students can practice with our students. The topic is some or any sentence in affirmative, negative, or in interrogatives. Okay, I have two students.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for coming. I can use one, but some of my students are coming to help set up. Good morning, everybody. Are you hearing us overseas? Can you hear us? Hello?
Yes.
Ah, great. Thank you. We're just going to get started here in just a minute, okay? And I'll be back in just a moment.
Sure.
Hi, mi nombre es Maylin. Hi, my name is Maylin.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Jay Diazor. I am years. I will introduce my pen.
Hi, my name is Xiomara.
Hi.
Hello.
I am 12 years old.
They are a little shy and at the same time a little nervous, but I am very thankful for your patience. I want you to understand that this is one of the first times we make a video conference with students located in Asia. My greetings to all the professionals in Eagle Hill, New York. We are here in Lima, Peru. A ver, preséntate.
My name is Piero. Have Hi, my name is Piero. Have 12 years.
Hi.
Hi.
Eh,
Congratulations on your connections to schools around the world. Your first connection.
They are just starting this new step in their acquisition of skills on how to speak English properly. We are at the same time amazed for your interest. I want you to hear what they have practiced.
okay. El yellow. Whiter. Hello, Sir, what would you like? Man, I like some sausage and rice, please. Whiter. Sorry, sir, we don't have any rice. What about some fries with your sauce? Man, okay, sausage with fries then. It also like a milkshake. Waiter, we don't have any milkshakes. Sir, sorry, man. Okay, then I want to introduce my friend Alexander.
Morning. Talk with friends. Like with waiter, we don't any milkshake. I sorry, man. Okay, then like some ice cream. Walter is doing hi. Yes. Good morning. My name is Alessandro. I am hungry. Have some fruit, whereas an apple. You don't in the fruit less or a pig, but let or a veg- veg- pizza.
Okay, now do you add a small song? Of course, we do. They are dusty, so let's have some and some peppers on the pizza.
Ustedes saben de que necesariamente tienen que practicar, necesariamente, esta es la única forma. Ven, hija, por favor, los dos. We are now going to show two students. They are girls. Please, ajá, ahí están, perfectas.
Hi, my name is Cristina. I live in Peru.
Hi, my name is Alexandra. I live in Peru.
Good afternoon. Can I take your order?
A cheeseburger and fries, please.
Okay, how you'd like a drink with?
Yes, please, and I like a lemonade.
Is that all? Is that all?
Yes.
No, wait.
Hi.
Hello. I am hungry, but I don't have and money.
No problem. What do you want?
I'd like a hamburger, some fries, and orange juice.
Okay. Can I have some extra salt with that?
Of course. Do you need some ketchup too?
No, thanks. I don't like ketchup.
Is that all then?
Yes.
Wait. Get me salad and lemonade.
Oh, hello.
Hi. How sells wants the freeload?
I like a piece.
How you are?
I'm fine. And you?
Felicitaciones, felicitaciones. Señorita, señorita, vamos. Sí, vamos. Ahí tienen un referente de cómo es hacer un diálogo bonito. Saluden, dan su nombre, su edad.
Good morning, Janela Mesa from Lima, Peru. I'm hungry. Have some fruit are in an apple. You don't like frog legs or pizza? Okay, both let's order a vegetarian pizza. I don't eat meat. I know. Do you eat mushroom? Of course. Me too. There's taxi, so let's have some mash and some pepper on the pizza. Have some extra cheese. Of course. What about onion? No, why they're horrible. Okay, thanks. Where the iPhone? Thank you very much.
Any question, my friends from Taiwan?
No, they actually are doing a good job reciting what they have learned.
Wow, thanks. Do you know any word in Spanish?
We had students who had learned some Spanish, but probably forgot a lot of it. Would you like to try?
No problem.
Hablo
We
un
are going
poco
to-
español.
Vamos, chicos.
My name is Jose. Good afternoon.
My name is Justin.
Good afternoon. Can I take your order?
A cheeseburger and fries, please.
Okay. What do you like? I drink white out.
Yes, please. I like a lemonade.
Is that all?
Yes.
No way.
I don't.
Hello, Eddie. I'm angry, but on the have any money.
No problem. What do you want?
I like an hamburger, some fries, and an orange juice.
Okay,
And having extra salad white down.
of course. Do you need some ketchup too?
Sal al ten.
Is that all thing?
Yes.
Whitehead, my salad and lemonade, Eddie.
Oh, hello, Maria.
Hi,
Wax and friend like friend.
I like pizza.
Would I you? Thank you.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Wow, your Spanish is great. I want you to meet few more students. Niña,
Hi, my name is Jasmine.
My name is Kelly.
Good afternoon. Can I get your order?
My cheeseburger and fries, please.
Okay. Would you like a drink with that?
Yes, please. I like a lemonade.
That's all.
Yes.
No why.
Hi, Tom.
Hello, Eddie. I am hungry, but I don't have any money.
No problem. What you doing?
I'd like a hamburger, some fries, and an orange juice.
Okay.
Can I have some extra salad, salt, white that?
Of course. Do you need some ketchup too?
No, no, thanks. I don't like ketchup.
Is that then?
Yes.
Wait. Give me salad and lemonade, Eddie.
Hello, Maria.
Hi.
Who else wants a friend lunch?
I like a pizza.
Who are you?
thanks for your time. Thanks for your patience. They are English students group. We are starting the learning process. I hope that you will understand the broken English that we speak, but at the same time, we are eager to learn. I want to say bye bye, and I hope to see you pretty soon, my friend from Taiwan and my friend from New York. Chicos, despídense.
Thank you, Rico, and your class from Peru. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Hasta
you.
luego.
Thank you.
Bye.
Larry, would you like to take it from
Yes,
here?
Please. Mary, you said you were going to take it?
So Larry, are you gonna start your session or?
Yeah, we already did. We watched, yeah, we're already about 15, 20 minutes into it, so we're hoping you can pick up from here.
Oh, okay. So hello everybody. This is Mei Mei Mary Shi from Taiwan. We're in the city of Taichung, located in the central part of Taiwan. Today we are very glad and honored to have the opportunity to talk with you. I'm here with my students. We're a high school, the affiliated senior high school of Zhongxi University. And we would like to talk to you about our global collaborations with schools around the world. And in this session, we would like to focus more on science-related projects that we have done with many schools, including some debate sessions or the other international projects. And so most of the collaborations that we have had are video conference based. But then there are other subjects where we agree with another school, for instance, a school in Iran, and we did a project simultaneously in each one's own country, and then meet back after the process of the experiment or the project, the program, and talk about one's progress during the learning. So I would like to hand over the time to my students, and they would like to share more about their learning.
Mary, before you move on, can I just ask a quick question?
Yes, go ahead.
We have math teachers in the auditorium today too, so I know that your students have done some stuff with math internationally. So as part of the reason we talk about that as well too.
Okay, so well, so before we start, I can also talk briefly about our teaching math to students in Minnesota. We could do that like high school to high school, but we also did it to elementary school students as well. So what we did was we used English, and so my students had to work hard on trying to express themselves in English, but the purpose was to teach the, for example, the second grade class math, either in, I think we did fractions and decimals and things like that. And we taught them like how to actually do math. So that was very interesting because according to the students' feedback, the second graders' feedback, they thought it was very cool math, one of the coolest things they have ever had. One of the coolest classes they have ever had. So I'm going to proceed with the other sessions.
Right. The most impressive video conference is the one on energy debate. We work as a debate team and spend a lot of time researching and searching for related information. And we thus learn much about alternative energy. Take the debate on nuclear power, for example. Through the preparation, I get a lot of knowledge about the recent development of nuclear fusion and the international thermonuclear experimental reactor made. Also, it was my first time to experience the rules and process of debate. The training process enabled me to become more productive and make suitable response in time. That was really a precious experience to me. Thank you.
So this one is the one that Larry can talk to you more about because Larry's the one who organized the alternative energy debate sessions.
And as you can see on the PowerPoint slides, those are the debate topics that we've been doing so far, and we've connected to students from
Australia, US, and Canada.
Yeah.
Two, I would say, connect to. We connected to Australia and USA and Canada.
Yes, and last year in May, we watched a live surgery of ACL, the anterior cruciate ligament, from Canada hospital. The doctor did not only do the surgery, but also simultaneously answer the question proposed by the students. What impressed me wasn't just the surgery, but also the doctor's characteristics, his patience, confidence, and sympathy. That's what the doctor should be. And also, I hope to study medicine in college, so I was really impressed in this video conference. Our teacher also gave us some outline in advance since we're not that familiar to surgeons and some vocabulary or phrases used in medicine.
Okay. And we also got robotic video conference.
In robotic video conference, we exchanged the experiences on robot making with students from Marquette high school student in America. Their robot was really amazing compared with the Lego robots made from us. Their robot consists of circuit board and iron outer casing. In addition to the robotic video conference, we also formed a movie club with them to share our opinions on the movie chosen by both sides. One of the movie we selected is Forrest Gump, and we discuss and we share our opinions on anti-war, bullying, and other movie plots.
Well, the original idea of the movie club was actually a book club, but concerning the problems of how, well, I would say the speed that we read is would not be that at the same speed as the students from Michigan in the United States. So we decided that we choose movies that both students could watch, and then we show and express our reflections afterwards. So that is for the robotic video conference. And we also got other international projects, and as you can see in the PowerPoint slides, those are the campaign for recruiting donations for childhood cancer research, and we're in collaborations with Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation in the United States. And then we carry out the campaign by selling several students made craft, and then including lemonade and other related products such as t-shirts or beige or many other things. And after that, we team up with international science to raise funds, where there were students mostly from the United States. They also carry out several projects for this recruitment of donations, and they also share on their experiences.
This science projects that we have done with Iran, the Noonday project to measure the Earth radium. We do this project at noon to first we measure the shadow of a bar when the sun when it rises at noon. So actually this project has been established in about 3,000 years ago in ancient Greek, and now that we do this again to prove that this method is actually
the most accurate one, I would say, and of course, because we are a different latitude from Iran, it is also a really great collaborations because students could clearly see that how the results come out quite different. I mean, the final results was the same, the Earth radium, but the shadow that was derived from the sun shines, and then how we measure it is actually quite interesting. I mean, the process of it, and that's probably about our presentation on this part. And we also got a video tape that we will show you
The
now.
video is actually students doing Model United Nations, the students from our school and a school in Canada. So it's just a brief video.
Good morning and good evening, delegates. Welcome to the Model United Nations 2014. Now we'll start the meeting and begin by roll call. The delegates of Nigeria, you are recognized for 5 minutes.
Nigeria has now been Ebola-free since October 20th, and we are willing to contribute to the affected countries. We have already donated $3.5 million to Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and the ECOWAS Pool Fund for Ebola. We have deployed 600 volunteers to help aid, and it's important for the travel and trade restrictions to be banned. However, we want to make sure that each country is maintaining a high level of monitoring who is passing through ports. Yield the chair.
actually United States only only posed our nuclear weapon for only one time in the World War II to Japan. And after all, we haven't used any nuclear weapons to other countries. Actually, during the Cold War, there's a nuclear race between the USA and the Soviet.
To the American delegate, although it is true that the United States of America has not dropped any nuclear weapons on hostile territory since World War II, it is also true that America has been the only country to use nuclear weapons in an offensive capacity in the entire history of humanity.
Okay, so that concludes our presentation. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer them.
Any questions? Mary, I'm going to ask you just to follow me down a question that we had from the earlier session about, is this a class or a club? You know, how do you work with your students to do these types of projects?
Right, okay, so the answer to that question would be we actually function as a class, although they are not getting credits for it and they are not paying tuition. I have the students meet regularly after school hours, and we work together on not only their language, but also how they can do research on their own. Because during our daytime, most of the classes are taught lecture style, so the students don't only listen and take notes. So I would like to train my students to work in a different format, especially improve their learning style and be more critical in their thinking. So this is the way that I came up with to have them work with peers across the continent, so that they can also think of others' opinions, think in others' shoes, and also be able to collaborate with different students in different countries of different cultural backgrounds.
And what we try to do is when we set up these types of topics, these types of classes, what we try to do is get as many people involved with it. Sometimes you bring in experts. When you were talking about measuring the sun's radiant measures, reminded me not long ago, remember there was an eclipse, worldwide eclipse a couple of years ago, that students tracked the eclipse and they used math to calculate when it would appear at certain stations across the globe. So the students that were not only tracking the eclipse, the students that were actually participating in the eclipse at the moment were basically reporting on it. They gave a great kind of interaction going on between the different students. And then they would calculate when the next station, when they would be affected by the eclipse. And this involved the NASA team that came on board as well. And they worked with the students so they understood how to measure, how to be able to do that kind of calculation. It's quite an interesting project, and it got the students involved with students worldwide tracking this event. And there's a lot of conversation going on about this. Mary talked earlier too about the alternative energy debate. You really want to get students to talk about issues of today. We highly encourage this kind of debate. We did one on global climate change, done one on alternative energy, did a variety of different topics. And nothing motivates students more than to take a position that protects or defends their thinking, their culture, and things on this kind of a line. And it does generate some very good conversation, very good arguments.
How do they get around the time difference problem?
Oh, that's a good question. Mary, I'll let you address that since you're 12 hours ahead of us.
Right. So we are 12 hours ahead of you right now. So it's 10 to 10 at your time, also 10 to 10, but it's evening hour. So it's evening time for us right now. And for me and my students, we try to be as flexible as possible to reach to a large number of countries around the world. And so the more flexible you are, the more countries you get to connect to. That would be, quite easy to understand. So even if you're not quite flexible, you can work with countries that are, or you can work, you can start out by working with schools that are close to your own time zones. That would work as well.
We found too that schools in Europe, they're only 5-6 hours ahead of us. And there's also a window in March. We go ahead an hour and they don't. So the spread is actually only 4 or 5 hours. So we work out this kind of thing so that we try to keep time zones to it. And as Mary pointed out, it's 10 to 10 here, it's 10 to 10 there. Sometimes the teachers will flip that around. So not one school's not always coming in late at night. Sometimes we'll come in early, sometimes we'll stay late. It all depends on the school district and how things are, what the policies are in those districts. Because we have some districts that outright refuse to open the school at night or something on that line. So, but we found going worldwide, A lot of the teachers are extremely flexible. They're willing to bring their classes in early. What some of them do is they'll do a cultural dinner, a potluck kind of a dinner, and they'll bring it in and they'll show the students here, you know, this is what we have for dinner. This is how we eat. We don't normally eat until 9 o'clock at night, some countries. So it's, and they're like, really? We eat here at 5, 6 o'clock. And, you know, so it generates a whole other line of discussion. Yeah.
How do we find out who wants to collaborate with us?
Okay. This network is a little bit different. This is a research and education network. So what we generally do is if you have a specific topic or interest that you want to get involved with, all you have to do is drop me an email, and then we send it off through these people. We provide you with virtual introductions to the group that you bring into the group. And there are people out there. So for example, if you have a specific thing you're trying to do in class, say you want to do linear versus metric kind of discussions, or international money exchanges, things on that kind of a line. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, let us know what that topic happens to be, and we will hook you up with those teachers. To give you an idea, in the sciences area, we have schools that are doing water sampling, air sampling, and soil sampling. And then sending their materials to an electron microscope lab, other science labs where the soils or the air and the water is analyzed, and the students take those results and they talk about it. And you know, why is my soil different here? Why is the air different? Things on that kind of line. So it gets them thinking about the science behind all these different kinds of things. We brought in astrology specialists, astronomy specialists, talking about why are constellations different over the schools of things, and doing things on that kind of a line. So whatever it is that you're looking to try to do, the first step is generally to get a hold of me by email, and then I put the word out worldwide. Once we get that step done, then you're part of the international community, and you'll start meeting all these different people, and you'll be able to set up your own events and doing things like that. We will put out information on a regular basis about the energy debate, the climate change debates, UN modeling debates, you know, things on that kind of thing. So when you hear those kind of things, it's easy just to register and become part of those. If you know Amy Spade, staff here, Amy and I work very closely together. So your real input with them would be Amy, and Amy would coordinate a lot of this stuff. Yeah.
When did NYSERN start?
Well, we started back in 1985.
Okay.
We brought the first internet connections to the schools. And then when the internet became commercialized.
You don't know.
Yeah, you guys are all connected, by the way. You're all connected to this network, so. Yeah.
Just goes back and forth.
Right. Yeah. You don't do anything on your own. You just go and do whatever it is that you want to do, and the routers take care of which network it goes out on. So it's very simple. You can use web browsers, email. So like if you send an email to someone who's at .edu or .org, chances are it's going out over internet too, and you don't even realize it. So any kind of those designations, those are the organizations that you find.
So Larry, would it be safe to say that if a teacher wanted to start or initiate his or her collaborations, first of all, the teacher needs to provide, give a description of the kind of class that he or she wants to do. For example, do you want it to be a discussion style, or is it a more of a sharing style, or is it a debate format? And then also the grade level of your class, the ages of the students, and then also the time zone that you're in, and also your availability, the hours that will work for you. You can state the hours either in EDT or GMT, so that it would be, you know, I guess it would make it easier for Larry to match the schools up. What do you think?
I agree. Yes, that's really good information.
So my students are also available for questions if you have, you know, anything you would like to ask them. They are 12th grade students, they're seniors, and are about to graduate in a couple of months. And they have had a lot of experience and exposure to students around the world through video conferencing with them. So it'll be a good chance to ask them some questions, I guess.
Just to get the ball rolling, if they could just talk about what their experiences are with video conferencing and meeting students on a global basis.
You can other sharings.
The experiences and everything.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I would still say that because of the video conferencing, we'll be able to connect to international students, and with the information integrated, I would say we not only get more detailed information than just access to internet, but also we found out that students from different cultural backgrounds respond to controversial issues quite differently, and that's what we get a lot from.
We learn some knowledge from our textbooks. For example, we know where Africa is, we know where Ghana is in our geography courses, but we don't actually know the culture, their foods, their traditional festivals. That's what we can find in our books. So through video conference courses, we can know exactly from their countries that what they are actually doing now, what do they think, and what do they do in their traditional festivals, what do they eat. That's what we have learned. And also we can get a lot of first-hand information from experts in different areas through, for example, debate and the forum that we have done.
So I would say, in conclusions, video conferencing did provide us with a practical learning style, and it is a more student-centered, where we spend a lot of time in discussions instead of just the normal lecture-based one where we have in our daily classes. That's about it.
Laura, do you have a question first?
I just was interested in, it seems like you probably have a nice global empathy or an understanding of the other cultures just working with them. Can you just talk a little bit about that?
You ever hear that?
Yes. Yes, yes, I did. Yes, that is one of the main acquisitions that we have had, because one evidence of that is I also have I would call those international affairs camp every year during winter, where we actually have international students from around the countries to work with my students, and the international students that we have had were from like Indonesia, Brazil, Mongolia, India,
Burkina Faso,
Switzerland, Egypt. And one of the main feedback that the students gave us was that different from the other students in Taiwan, my students here are very open-minded to different cultures. They're more willing to embrace other cultures, and they are more interested in learning about other people, like traditions and customs. And so I think this is a big step toward like cultural tolerance and all that we have tried to emphasize in our regular courses. We try to teach our students, but it's the actual exposure that really, gets them there.
Yeah, it's just so fantastic, and the kids realize that there are so many similarities between one another in the various grade levels. So I really applaud you. It's a fantastic opportunity for your students.
Indeed, thank you.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
How do you, once the cameras are turned off, how do you maintain the connection?
As in, how do we connect?
Well, I feel like once we disconnect here, we're not connected. We wouldn't get to talk to you until the next time we reconnected in video conference. So do your students maintain some sort of ongoing connection through the internet that
Okay.
others?
Yeah. So sorry. Yes, actually teachers do that, and students can also do that. So, for example, the teachers contact through emails. We also contact through Skype. And we also have teacher-teacher video conferencing. Sometimes it's just so easier to talk, it's like we're talking face-to-face in person, and also blogging. And so the students can also do that because at the high school level, we have confidence in their ability to contact the other students from other countries. So my students also contact, because they have to work in some of the projects, they have to work together to present. So for example, my students had to contact the students in Canada, work with them to do a joint presentation. So they either blog, they use Facebook, they email to each other, they use Google Hangout, any form of social networking platform that they could get their hands on. And so this is probably, I would say, an ongoing international collaboration, not only during video conferencing, but also through their everyday life. And the friendship lasts.
Another way that we connect with the school in China with the little ones, and the time frame is too difficult, so we upload videos. We have a site, a video site that will upload videos, and they can upload them to our site too. We share videos of a certain topic and communicate that way.
Yes. We also do that, and then we try to at least maybe meet once or twice a semester, try to come up with a time that we can all agree on, and then talk about what we have shared.
Okay. We have found too that some students start meeting each other on Facebook or through other.
That was essentially my question.
Yeah.
Can they connect on Facebook? Or can they connect through Google Drive, for example? And
Yes.
if they can,
Yes.
Okay, good.
The alternative interface is all based on Google Docs and things like that. So students are exchanging their reports and different things via Google Drive.
We're doing Larry, we're doing some projects on Google Docs right now with our Food for Thought. And on March 31st, we're having a shared video conference on pricing. And I've asked people to price certain items in each country. So we're going to share on that. And also, for the last about 5 or 6 months, people have been uploading and sharing videos. Then we're putting it all together and doing it individually as well on Google Docs. And then because our good friends in Kakistan the other day, we got on a couple other social media, and we're doing some sharing on Facebook with pictures and some other things as well. But those are both good items.
The Google resource is absolutely amazing. The students can open up a share file, and then students from different countries can edit on the same, for example, the presentation slides simultaneously. So while you're typing, the students from other countries can see the words popping up on their computer. They can type back, create the whole presentation together, and then present it together. It's just so convenient.
Yeah, there was an experiment that was described a couple of years back that involved NetTeam Canada, which is part of the University of British Columbia, and with students in Japan and students in Washington, Seattle, Washington area, where they used remote underwater operated vehicles to do research around thermal vents. And on these slides, they were led by a researcher at the university, and they were scooping soil samples around by the vents. They were collecting water samples. And I don't know if you remember years ago, the scientists assumed there was no life around thermal vents. Well, through this research, we come to find out there actually is life. There's actually bacteria, plankton, and seafood. And these students then using, I don't know if it was Google Drive at the time, but they were using a centralized platform where they were able to exchange their notes, work with the researcher, and they actually published their results. They were written up in a science magazine, and they were able to do some things that you would not think high school students would be involved with, which is why I popped that screen up there. More and more now, high school students are getting involved in research. They like that hands-on type of approach to learning, and this network now is really enabling them to do these kinds of things. Like I said, they hook up with researchers for maritime, for marine studies, NASA folks, folks at Gemini observatories. They're studying celestial events, things on that kind of a line. They meet with teachers and students from around the world to talk about cultural issues. And as I said before, one of the things that the students found out is that no matter where they went in the world, They had the same thoughts about parenting, the same thoughts about music. They felt that there's a lot more commonality among the students worldwide than they ever realized before. So it fostered a lot of post classroom discussion into other vehicles. And I think I mentioned Laurel earlier, at the end of one of our alternative energy debates between a school out by Scotia, New York, and the school in London, Oak Park High School, one of the New York students got kind of smitten with one of the girls over in London, but not realizing that her boyfriend was there too. So the two guys started facing off intentionally by doing push-ups, who could do the most push-ups, and who do the flexing the muscle and the whole bit. The girl was totally mortified that this was being broadcast worldwide, and so the teachers in the seating kind of cut that off. It's like that's too involved. It was just great to see the students be able to interact and to continue these conversations well after the actual events took place.
Yeah, and of course, we've got the next person, but thank you, Larry, this is fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for sharing with our teachers. Looking forward to that.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
If you
Thank
want
you.
Thank you.
to drop me an email. Thanks, Mary. I guess you're leaving now?
Yeah, we're leaving in a couple of minutes, and thank you for allowing us to talk with the teachers and the future collaborators.
Oh, definitely. A lot of people are taking a lot of the information, so I think you're going to be hearing from me very shortly about some possibilities.
Yes, and also if you know of, like you and Michael know of any universities that are interested in connecting through video conference, things are just taking off here because a lot of schools have been coming to observe what we have been carrying on so far. So even university classes are willing to give it a try, and they are looking to colleges and universities in USA and other countries for collaboration. So if you know of any university college classes, let me know.
Definitely, Mary. I'll be following up with you on that very shortly. I have several colleges that are looking to do this. So.
Excellent. So thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you for your. Yeah, you guys
Thank
are
you,
great.
Larry. Thank you.
Fabulous. Look forward to working with you again.
Yes, indeed. Hope you all liked it. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Michael, we got a little time here before the next one starts. Hope you got off to the vet okay.
Oh yeah, we're fine. Got back and everything's good. I'll be here for the next presentation. You have one more, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be back in just a minute.
Okay, no problem. Hey, Larry, I can't hear you.
Sorry, Michael.
That's okay.
What we're going to do is we're talk how research and education networks support teaching and learning in your field. And we're going to try to keep this as a panel kind of thing, a discussion. So if you have questions at any point for Michael or myself, please feel free to go ahead and ask. I'm going to be showing you a couple of demonstrations about a couple of kinds of things you can do on this network that are unique and can't be duplicated on the commercial internet. So without further ado, what I'd like to do is I'm going to turn the floor over to Michael. Michael and I work together on a lot of different projects, from the global alternative energy debate, global climate changes, cultural programs, language learning programs, science, robots, you name it. It runs the whole spectrum. If you can think it, it gets done. That's the kind of program it is. So, Mike, I'm going to turn it over to you. If you can take the floor and talk about your experiences, it would be wonderful.
Yeah, I'll be glad to, Larry, and welcome to the video conference that we're doing today. We were joined earlier by Enrique from Lima, Peru, and Mary from Mimi from Taiwan. And I just got email from the lady we were doing our alternative energy debate with yesterday. And so we were doing one with Hong Kong until about 8:30 last night. So that was a very interesting experience too. But my name is Michael Cunningham, and I'm with Del Valley Independent School District, a high school here in Austin, Texas. I also work director of the World Class Schools Project. It's a project I started in 2001, and it's grown to about 150 schools all throughout the world. And currently we work with schools all the way from elementary to high school. And I believe we're...
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank Okay, and appreciate the, you have to turn the volume down on your end a second there, please, because we hear him echo. Okay, thanks. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and you can tell Larry and the group who you are, please.
Thank you. You're
to introduce ourselves.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Damien. Hi, I'm Zidane. Hello, I'm Ashton. Hi, I'm Robinson. Hello, I'm Jared. Hello, I'm Morris.
And
Yeah,
where
I'm
you,
all students from Ilford.
and tell what school you're from.
Ilford County, my local campus. ICHS. In London. In Barking, sorry. In Greater London.
Okay. I'll go ahead. If you guys could be muted a second, we'll just go ahead and finish, and we'll talk in just a moment. Anyways, I was explaining that we do video conferencing on a monthly basis with Food for Thought. We also do it on different bases, like we do the global energy debates, we do moot courts, we do mock trials, we do other debate type programs. We've worked with countries as far as many in Europe, Africa, Asia, India, Korea. We're doing several cultural exchanges with Korean schools right now. We actually run anywhere from about 6 o'clock in the morning to 7, 9 o'clock at night. Not as dedicated as Mary's group, who's probably stayed up to pretty close to 10 something their time doing it, but we try very hard to do that. We had some very interesting experiences in the last couple of weeks. We've had a couple conferences with Iran. We had one with Iran the day after Netanyahu's speech to Congress, and we asked them about what they thought about the speech. We had some very, very interesting things that we posted on our Facebook page and stuff. I think the bottom line is you really find out. The idea is that you try to get students to interchange with students before they become leaders. And I always tell my kids, you know, just think if Barack Obama had sat down with Vladimir Putin, you know, when they were both much younger, and then developed friendships, we'd be in a lot better place than we are today. And I think this is the technology that you're able to do this very easily. And we do it almost on a daily basis. And then, in fact, several times, sometimes in the morning in one area and sometimes the afternoon in another area. Any kind of questions or comments? We've had some really good exchanges. Our Food for Thought's probably one of our better ones. We've had as many as 25 schools participate at one time. We found that culturally speaking, food is very interesting. We had one, normally they're themed. One time we had rice, and we had rice from 23 different countries and including 5 different continents. And it was very interesting to see as we shifted how rice does not necessarily mean the same in each language. This last month we had about foods, and it's very interesting to find out how Americanized many fast food restaurants are all across the world. But the prices are so drastically different. This month we're doing something on the 31st that's kind of unique. We're taking certain elements of food and we're trying to get a universal price and like that. Larry's been working very hard for many years on this energy, alternative energy. And we've had, we started yesterday and we have for a whole month until 2 days after Earth Day, talking about alternative energy. And we're scheduled with 14 different countries having debates on alternative energy. So I think that these are very honorable type of projects. We have also do projects with books, movies, culture. We do some with Korea on Korean dramas, believe it or not. Very fascinating and different things discussing and getting different opinions on the same subject is very, very good. Language barrier wise, most of my students in Del Valley are not native English speakers. Probably 50-75% of our students are not native English. And we find that in many cases we learn a great deal from people from other countries because their English is very, very good. Iranian students' English, absolutely impeccable. You could see if you were here earlier, the people from Taiwan will speak English very, very well. English is a kind of a universal language, but one of the best ways to learn English better is to actually speak and do it on real time. So we find video conferencing to be one of the best ways to learn English as a foreign language. So many of our teachers are English foreign language teachers, and I've seen a great deal of benefit from this. What are you interested in finding out more about there in New York?
It works better if I do that. Michael, the question is how do the debates get set up? How do you organize these things?
Oh, okay.
How do you get the teachers in?
The best way to do is, Larry can give you my email. We have a Facebook page where we send out quite a bit of information on now. I send out weekly emails on different video conferences and stuff that happen. This next week, we're doing a mock trial. I'll just explain to you a little bit about some of the ideas. We're doing a mock trial with the South Australian Magistrates Group at Adelaide and with Findon High School. And this experience, we're going to do 3 of them. But this experience is so unique is that students in my school are participating in the courtroom in South Australia. And they have a judge from South Australia and a class from another part of South Australia, where we appear in the court at the same time virtually, and we have a sitting judge actually conduct the trial with us. we are benefited by several lawyers. It's an experience that's very hard for anyone to duplicate or replicate, and we get to do that on a regular basis. Realistically, this is so teacher-driven. Is if somebody in there said, "Okay, Mike, I'd like to start doing this," we could give you more information, more things to do, and it would really change the way you teach. All you have to really do is just say that you're willing to do it, and we get you set up. And technology-wise, you can see is most of you guys will probably have a 323, which is fine, a Polycom Tandberg or something to that effect, which is great. I'm actually talking to you on a web camera here. We have technology that will merge the two together, and this has enabled us to include schools that heretofore could not afford to do it. So we're dropping schools in anywhere around the world that you would like to find out more information about. We could get you scheduled. And currently we have about 62 different school countries that belong to our organization that are willing to help out. And we could always use more, because the more we have, the easier it is actually to do.
And you'd be surprised by how quickly these events can be pulled together. So if you're looking to do something, either a debate or a topic that you want to try to get somebody worldwide to go with, if you email myself or email Mike, chances are in a matter of days.
We're working on some Model UN programs right now. And most Model UN programs, you have to represent other countries. My dream is to have a Model UN with other countries represent each other. So we would join a conference like this. And if you were going to, let's say, Bulgaria or Romania or Russia, you would have students from Bulgaria, Romania, and Russia actually representing their country. And then all of a sudden you can see, well, if your students are representing the United States or several aspects of the United States or wherever you're representing, you can actually see what other countries are thinking in real time with real people, which makes a lot more sense to me than playing, anticipatory games where you can't really find out what they're thinking.
One of the more recent U.S. models is on nuclear proliferation, because of all the talks that are taking place in the Middle East and whatnot. And it was surprising how the U.S. students had to defend the U.S. nuclear program, being the realization that we are the only government in the history to offensively use nuclear weapons. And it created quite a discussion that opened up a lot of eyes, because these students didn't realize other world perspectives of the U.S. in this area. We hear what we hear on the news, we read the newspapers, we get a certain perspective. But when you hear it from students who are getting it from other media sources or from other government sources, and these are students who are hearing it for the first time, it was quite an event. And to be honest, the students were kind of put on the defensive, but they did well.
Yeah, Larry, to echo in what you're saying, we talked to Iran very frequently from Curad High School there. And a couple years ago, we were debating about Harry Truman dropping the atomic bomb. And we were defending Harry Truman, and they were saying that nuclear weapons are not, are useless and all this kind of stuff. And that was before we weren't even supposed to be talking to Iran. So you can see that sometimes you can carry on conversations that are very close to reality, and you can get a whole different opinion of what you hear from the news and what you actually hear, what you can see are two different things, especially with the Iranian students.
And there's schools from Pakistan that participate, there's schools from South America, Asia. So you're talking quite a global community, quite a diverse community. And everybody has a different opinion on whatever the topic happens to be. Now, Mike alluded to the mock trials that they've done with Australia. And that's been quite a good program. It's gotten students involved in understanding how the legal system works. And it gives them a different perspective when they're actually, in the mock trial being put on trial. Or they have to defend somebody who's been accused of a certain crime. It really does allow the students to participate. And what this network enables is the fact that what you're seeing here is pretty much broadcast quality type of video that's being distributed. Even though Michael's from home, he's logged into the school's network, which allows him then to be able to communicate to us via this Internet 2 type connection, research and education network, how this network is designed. You're not going to get the first range. You're not going to get the drop video conference. You're going to get a good, robust, and a good quality technical signal. And as you said, we travel the world. You would think that last year when we were doing the alternative energy debates, we had the Ukraine and Russian schools participating just at the time when Russia was annexing Crimea and that whole whole war effort over there was starting to come to fruition. The students, you would never know they were coming from a war zone, and they did not bring that to the event, and yet they were debating each other back and forth about different forms of alternative energy and how we should be using it. So it gets that way. Any question?
So it's just curious when we hear from the students what their
Sure.
what they have to say.
Yeah, Mike, can you bring in the students from Peru?
Yeah, I don't think those people are from Peru though, so I don't know. Go ahead and
Okay.
let's go ahead and have them speak, please. Tell us where you're from again.
England.
England.
We're from England, and we are a school based in Greater London.
What do you guys think about video conferencing and meeting students around the world? How's it work for you?
Well, as a school, we've taken part in loads of video conferences, and these vary for different reasons. And if you want to, we've got a couple of examples of what we've taken part in. So we've taken part in a chemistry video conference with students in Hong Kong and Australia. We use it for school council. We use it for school council meetings with other schools in our area. We also use it to talk with our partner school in France to practice our French. So we've held also conferences with other schools within London. So video conferencing here, if students ask all the questions, we also answer them back. Students also have project work, use video conferencing to do work together. And also, once we held a video conference at the NASA space station, we talked to some scientists and did a Q&A. So, yeah, that was a normal video conferences.
I have a question for them.
Yes.
How much time do they spend preparing for a video conference?
We don't spend, we don't really spend that much time preparing for video conferences, like 5 or 10 minutes, because we just get some quick facts that we can use in the conference, and just it kind of depends on the topic of things, because if it's a school council conference, then sometimes it takes a short time because they already have their sheets. But one thing that it takes slightly longer. In a way, it's a good thing because we can get logged on the website, and we can quickly video call our neighboring schools that we're talking with, or anyone else that we want to interact with. And if we got everything ready, it's easy because then all we have to do is just log in. Yeah, it's very useful because we have a partner, as I mentioned before. We have a partner in school in France, and use that in our languages and NFL. So yeah, you use it for things.
Hey, Larry, to answer the question the gentleman had about time, there's a couple ways you can help the time out a little bit. One would be to schedule, like if you're going to do like that alternative energy debate, you would do the same debate and then do it with several different countries. So therefore you could get, instead of learning different things, you could maximize your time that way. Another thing that could end up helping it is to get people involved in pairs and then to rotate your groups around, so you could end up doing multiple conferences with multiple people using different people so everyone could participate. So you don't have to try to get a whole lot of, and keep on changing, because if you got involved in this a great deal, one of the first things you can see is that you can lose yourself without some sort of organization, and it's very easy to, especially like with Common Core and other projects, we have a very tight curriculum. It's very easy to get off of what you need to do. So you could, with a little bit of work, this makes it maximizes your time very easily.
For the Ilford County School there, what topics would you like to talk to American students about?
First of all, we are doing, as you probably heard of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We do them, we're just wondering, because we know that people in New York have a different education system to us. How would you actually do it? Because with us, STEM are actually all different separate subjects, so how do you do them?
And to go along with the question too about the time, what a lot of the teachers are starting to do now is they're employing things such as Google Drive and or other centralized locations for the teachers to exchange lesson plans and to talk about things, and for the students to start exchanging data. So when they actually get to the debate, they actually kind of have an idea of what each side is looking at as far as how they're going to be promoting their topic or defending their topic. And so the video conference is actually the culmination of all that effort that takes place. We actually have teachers that do cross-teaching. So like there's a teacher in Belltop Elementary School that teaches her class and the class in London about the American style of government. And the British teacher teaches back her class and the Belltop class the parliamentary style of government. And then the two students work together to compare pros and cons, what works, what doesn't work, and what would they change differently if they had to do things. And I'm going to throw this question back to the school in London, because I've asked this before, and it was almost like hearing crickets. But when you think about it, what would the United States be like if there was never an American Revolution? Suppose the revolution never took place back in 1776. What do you think America would look like today? And the students in London were like, well, what are you talking about? What American Revolution? And they had no clue. So just curious, do you guys study anything at all about the American Revolution back in 1776?
Yeah, actually in history we learned about the slave trade and what happened in America, and we learned about the Confederacy and the war between the Union, and we found out about what we learned about the slaves and stuff, and how they were freed and how Americans fought for the freedom. Yeah, we learned about Abraham Lincoln and how he persevered to help make freedom for everyone and give all the African slaves that were their rights. But as we go on in history, we learn more about it. But at this stage, we're in grade year 8. So yeah, we haven't learned everything. Grade 8. Yeah. We're 12. We're 12 to 13 years old. We're not sure what grade that will be in America.
Can you tell us what you learned when you guys take your social studies classes? What do you learn in your social studies classes?
The social studies that we do is called PSE, the PSHE, Physical, Social, Health, Education. And yeah, it's a bit like citizenship studies. We just talk about how to conduct yourself, like in England, being a citizen. Yeah, I guess it'd be pretty similar to how it would be in America or any other country. Yeah. What resources do you have in your school in New York?
Oh, who would like to tackle that question? What kind of resources do you have in your school for this kind of stuff? Can you hear this?
They're smart boards.
guess it has it. Do you guys use smartboards?
Yeah, we have smartboards. Because we're in New York City, which is one of the, well, it probably is the most powerful city in the world, do you have more access to like other, like, you know, because video conferencing, you have more like equipment and things that you can use, and is it easier for you to do them?
Well, first of all, we're outside of Syracuse, New York. We're not close to New York City. We're probably, I think, we're going about 350 kilometers from New York City, north. So we get a lot of snow and cold up this way. But as far as the resources go, we use either Polycom video conferencing units or Camberg video conferencing units. Who's the other one? Blue Standard? That one? And that's for social service teachers. We use the same, you have a network over there called JANET, the Joint Academic Network. We run a similar network here. So I think our resources are fairly similar as far as that goes. We notice you guys wear uniforms. You always wear ties to school every day?
Yeah, we have, it's part of our uniform. We have to wear uniform every day, and there's probably a rare occasion where we have non-uniform day, but mostly all the schools in our area wear. Most schools in London wear uniform.
Is your school a private school or a public school?
It's a grammar school, so we have to take a common entrance exam to get into our school. Yeah, but it's government, but it's it's government funded, it's not private. But even a common school where you don't have to take an exam, they still have to wear uniform and school ties. Yeah, which is not really.
They all have their own device, like a tablet or
You guys each have your own computer or your own laptop or your own tablet. You guys use smartphones in the class? What kind of computers?
Sometimes in lessons our teachers let us use our smartphones, and like most of us have our own smartphones. We do have the teacher has one computer, obviously they use that, and most of our lessons are conducted using PowerPoints. We aren't actually given iPads and things like that, but we do have our own devices, so sometimes we use that. Yeah, and within our school we have 4 IT rooms and music rooms and with iMacs in it. Yeah, we have a library that provides laptops and things, so if we can use it for homework, they'll let us use it. If we have any special projects, we can bring in laptops and if we have any projects, we can bring in laptops and tablets to help with our projects. But there's of course if we have no.
Now the school gives you this equipment or is this your own equipment?
Pardon? The school supplies us with 4 rooms and desktops. The LRC provides us with, I think, up to 30 or 20 laptops. And in the back of the LRC, we have a room dedicated to desktops. But we don't have our own individual laptops which we can take home or which are assigned to us specifically. We have a general amount of laptops which we can borrow and return to the school. Yeah. But if we did need any devices for a project, we could bring them in. So today we have a project for philosophy and ethics, and we were allowed to bring in our tablets and stuff, so I bring in my laptop. So that's an example there. Also, we encourage in our lessons to do presentation, because as technology is advancing, people don't read books and show it to people anymore and go to practical class. We actually do presentations, using software like PowerPoint, Cartoon, Prezi, software to record. Yeah.
Please, President. Yes. Okay. The question we have from the audience is, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Let's go in the circle. I want to be a scientist. I want to be a civil engineer. I want to be a doctor. I want to be an architect. I was inspired by women monster. I want to be a scientist. I want to be a
All STEM.
Yeah.
All
I've
STEM.
got a question.
Yes.
I'm assuming boys, this is an all-boys school, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And is there a parallel school for girls? In other words, the same school system?
Our school basically is a boys' primary school. There is a girls' version of our school, Woodford County, and sometimes we do joint things with them, like music performance, talent shows, and things like that. But it's about 4 months school.
Boys, what are the pros and cons of an all-boys school compared to going to a school with both boys and girls?
We'll go around and give our opinions. Okay, that's all. I don't think it's my concept, that's my opinion. For me, I think the pros is that, there aren't really many pros because in society there's boys and girls, and it's kind of weird to be separated. The cons, that's it. Well, personally, I think that this school should be a mixed school because as we get older and work, the group work, there's going to be other girls there as well. And then, because we have socialized before, that we're not really used to that when we get older, so I think that's not a good thing. I think that the reason why we came to this school was it's a grammar school in our area, and that gives us a good education, and it's quite high standard. Whereas there's not really around here a mixed grammar school for us to go to in our area. And if there was, there's private schools which you have to pay money for, and this is most grammar schools. Most grammar schools are either boys or girls. I'm guessing the biggest part would be easy to change the sports. For me, I'm watching the program on TV, and it shows students they get really distracted by girls and boyfriends and all that, so it can really distract. Right, our teachers keep us so we don't get distracted. While we know what we're doing. I think we all have our own opinions.
Okay, we should probably have a debate on this one of these days. We only have about another minute here before we have to sign off. I'm just curious, do you have any questions for us?
For the American education system, how do you learn technology and engineering incorporated into one subject or separate?
So we're social studies
Well,
teachers.
I teach elementary science, grade 4, very much hands-on, inquiry-based. So give them a task, and then they do an experiment, and then they come to conclusions based on what we did in the experiment.
Our students in this school do a thing called Science Olympiad, which is also very hands-on. A lot of students participate in experiments, and they hold their own systems.
Are you able to hear all that? All right, then I think we're done for today. I really appreciate you guys joining us and sharing with us your learning experiences. Michael, it's always a pleasure working with you. I look forward to next time, too.
Bye.
Bye.